Hello, I'm Norquata. I'm Norquata Allen, and I'm going to be teaching computer science today. And can you see the board? Okay.
What topics are you going to teach?
I'm going to cover variables and functions. I'm glad you asked. Okay. And we're just going to do basic functions. We're not going to get into anything too complicated today. Okay. So if you know you need help with this, please take notes because it's going to be a good lecture. Okay.
I think I brought pen and paper.
Yeah, it's a good thing you brought pen and paper. Okay. Now, in computer science here at Georgia Tech, we use MATLAB to write our functions and things with. So, MATLAB. And MATLAB is a matrix laboratory and an interactive development environment. Take it for what it's worth. Okay. Now, in computer science, you have things that are called variables. Now, basically, a variable is just some name that's assigned to a size or memory location on MATLAB. So I could say x equals 7. So basically, you're assigning the value 7 to the variable x. Or I could say a equals 500. And you're assigning the value of 500 to the variable a. Or I could say something like cheese equals 11. And that's still considered a variable. A variable is anything that has no spaces, it starts with a letter, and it has only letters and numbers or underscores, which are like cheese, bread. You can use underscores as spaces, but you can't have spaces, just plain spaces in your variable names. And so, when you're writing code and you're using variables, you have to remember that variables are case sensitive. So cheese is not the same as cheese or cheese. All those are totally different. Any questions? Do I have everybody so far?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. Now we're going to get a little more complicated. Okay. Now the reason why we have these variables is because they help us make functions. So when you have a function is something that allows you to basically take a variable and compute an answer for an equation or some kind of, it helps you do an operation without doing it over and over. So, say we have a function. Actually, we're going to get into functions a little later. I'm going to coach you guys through this. Okay. So, say we assign z equals 5 and y equals 6. So you have z equaling a value of 5 and y equaling a value of 6. Kind of like in math. It's kind of like the same thing. And say you say a equals z plus y. So who knows what a would equal? Sabria, do you know what a would equal?
A would be 11.
A equals 11. Good guess. Okay. So you assign the value 11 to the variable a. Now, in MATLAB, you have a command window. Actually, I'll show you the setup of MATLAB right now. In MATLAB, it's kind of set up like this. Have an editor where you enter codes and you run these codes or scripts. And down here you have the command window. Where you enter in your prompts. And this is basically like the solver. It solves things for you. Over here you have your workspace. which saves your variables. So it might have a equals 11 in this case, z equals 5, and y equals 6. Saves your variables. And over here, you have your directory where you pull up files. So say I have a function name happy, one name go, one name lucky. Then I have my function saved over here. So that's basically the setup of MATLAB. Okay. So in my command window, this is what the command window is. I enter prompts, and this is basically where you enter in something that calls a function and it solves it for you. So I have a prompt, and I'm going to say b equals 1. Okay, store that in there. d equals 2. That's stored in MATLAB. And it will be stored over in your workspace over here. So it kind of keeps a running total of your variables. And say c equals 21. And then I'll put in a equals d minus b. And what I'm doing right here is I'm trying to ask MATLAB to give me a value for b. Does anybody know what the value of a would be in this case? Saria, what would the value of a be?
Why don't she don't me?
Saria.
1.
A would
Just make
equal
sure you're
1.
paying attention,
Yeah, I'm
Saria.
making sure you're paying. I don't want any snoozers here. Okay, a would be 1. Now say I come down here and I redefine d as negative 17. What will a equal? You new students who probably wouldn't know. Uriah, what will a equal?
A is going to equal, what is that? Negative 18.
Negative 18. In this case, you'll be wrong.
Say what?
Yes, you would be wrong. Now, the reason why this would be wrong is because you've already assigned a up here to equal 1. Now, if you want to reassign a new number for this, you already redefined d, but still a still has this place assignment. So you have to say a equals d minus b again in order for a to equal negative 18. So at this point right here, it's still equal to 1. So this is useful in writing code because sometimes you might mess up by doing this. So, okay. Now, when writing a function, there's a certain format that you follow. And so, you write it in your editor. So, assume this is your editor up here, your editor box. The function for the equation for a function is function output variable equals function input variable. Okay. So basically when you're writing a function, you have to actually write the word function. And then you can put your output variable, whatever you want to name that. You can name it something like, if we were doing total of sandwiches, you can name it sandwich or something like that. But you don't always have to use the brackets. This is just to let you know that that's what you're going to put after that. And you put it equal to the name of the function and your output variable in there. You'll understand as we do a problem.
So
Now,
wait, are you saying that the name of the function doesn't go next to the word function?
the name of the function does, no, the name of the function does not go next to the name of the function. Next to the word function. When you have the name of the function, this is what you're going to save the function as. And when you're calling it in the command window, you're going to put the name of the function and your variables, say x and y. And MATLAB is going to compute an answer for you using, because it knows to go to this file and get that function and put those variables into your function. So that's why you name that function that way. Okay. Now, down here you will have your code. I'm just going to put it like that. More to come on this, and what our code is. And then you have to end your function. Now the reason why I have to end your function and start your function with the word function is because you have to tell MATLAB what you want to do. You can't just start writing stuff because MATLAB isn't that smart. It does exactly what you tell it to do. So, first I'm going to give you some steps on